Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to dive into grief and your lungs and how those two things are related and how much you can actually learn from your body when you just allow it to do what it does best. Maybe you click this video because you're currently dealing with some sadness or some grief or depression in your life. You may be looking for some solutions and answers to maybe clear that out, or even just know if there is a possibility of life that doesn't feel like that. And I'm here to tell you that there is. Through the power of conscious breathing, you can find a lot of relief and a lot of help through whatever it is you're going through or growing through. And so we're gonna get into that today. Before we do, I need you to give this video a thumbs up. I need you to make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on, as well as comment down below how you personally handle sadness in your life. Let's make this a safe space. You know, do you confide in people or do you want to spend time alone? Do you journal? Do you call a friend? Do you go on a walk? When you're processing heavy emotions, what do you find yourself doing? So let's get into your lungs and how they're correlated to the grief that you may be experiencing or have experienced. Interestingly enough, we're all kind of grieving something. There's like hundreds of years of energies to be grieving through our ancestors, through just what we see on the news all around us. We're connected to everything and everyone. So according to traditional Chinese medicine, your lungs represent and are related to grief in the body, sadness in the body. Really makes a lot of sense when you think about when you're crying and you're hyperventilating and you're breathing and it's getting all of these emotions out, right? You might feel lighter after you have a good cry. I know I do. To make this maybe make a little bit more sense, your lungs are the first defense to any external pathogens and bacteria in the air. They're the first line of defense, especially if you're breathing through your mouth, which and the lungs disperse qi or ki or whatever word you want to use there. They disperse that throughout your body. So if you're not familiar with what qi is, I maybe have some links down below that kind of go in more depth of it, but it is your creativity, your vital life force energy, your sexual energy. I mean, it is like your potency. So sometimes when we have prolonged, unprocessed grief, we don't feel as like vital, right? You feel like low energy, you feel sad. The qi can't get dispersed. There is a central kind of blockage in the body, leading to kind of that like tightness in the chest or that shortness of breath. You can think about it like this, right? So the words aspiration and inspiration have the root word of spira, aka spirit. Breath actually literally translates to spirit. So it's like spirit work, breath work. When we feel our spirit is heavy, right, due to sadness or grief or depression, I know I can personally relate that I have literally felt it in my chest. It feels heavy, it feels tight, it feels restricted. You can literally, there's a physical symptom now along with that emotion, right? Your body's literally processing that emotion and it's showing up physically. And once we really allow ourselves to breathe and process and really, really take deep breaths in those moments of sadness, and I know your chest is tight, doesn't feel comfortable, but you will feel lighter on the other side of that. That really kind of intense breathing that happens when we're crying, the hyperventilating, all of it is the breath literally kind of like cleansing out the lungs, cleansing out the body, cleansing out those emotions. I think it's a direct correlation. Like I said, when you have that sadness, you feel that tightness in your chest, it is literally your lungs like, so breath work, conscious breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, just deep belly breaths really, really can help you process some of that in a safe way. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it. In my experience with depression, with sadness, with grief, with all of the above, there are times where I'm like avoiding breath work, honestly. I'm like, I'm just gonna cry. Like I know as soon as I take the first breath, I'm just gonna be in tears. So no, I don't feel like doing that. And it's so funny that we like prioritize all this other stuff over that kind of thing, because like your body is so intelligent, and if you just keep like kind of telling it what to do instead of listening to it, it is gonna force you to slow down. Like some way or somehow that is, it has to get processed in some form or fashion in your life. Okay, the sun just came out. So it is always interesting when I work with one-on-one with clients or even within myself, where we like try to avoid these emotions, but yet we don't want to feel them anymore. And we think we can just like ignore them, or I don't really know why we do that, right? Because like they don't go away when we just push them to the side and like save them for a rainy day. They just kind of get bigger. So feeling it to heal it is kind of my message in today's video. And if you are processing something where you feel that tightness in your chest, I do highly recommend getting into breath work and allowing it to help aid in that process and to lift your spirit up and for you to be inspired again. Your chi, like I mentioned earlier, is kind of your creativity, your vital life force. It powers you in so many ways. And so when that's not getting dispersed properly, when we feel really uninspired or just kind of lack that creative motive and creative pursuits, a lot of times that tightness in the chest, that shortness of the breath is because the chi, the ki, is literally not being dispersed properly. And through deep belly breathing and really allowing your body to do what it does best. Our body is so intelligent, like trust it. It knows exactly what to let go of if we just allow it to. And for me personally, I just feel like breath work really allows me to get out of the way. It allows my body to do what it needs to do. It has shown me how smart my body is if I just breathe. I just really simplify, take all the external noise away, external validation, external things that I think will solve or fix or heal, and rely inwardly only. My body's got it. If this resonated with you at all, if you felt anything in this kind of like you could relate to, please comment down below. I'm really, really curious. I do also want to make a video just specifically talking about anxiety and how that correlates with our breath, because that's a whole other thing. Today's was more so depression and sadness and grief, and I know this might be somewhat of a touchy subject, but I, again, am saying feel it to heal it. Like, I'm not invalidating how you feel, and I think by all means, allow it to be processed. And if that process looks like crying, emphatic breaths that are really just, you know exactly which ones I'm talking about. That's good. That's a good thing. And literally your body is doing what it needs to lift that heavy weight off of you. So here's to feeling it. Here's to allowing it. Here's to surrendering and getting out of our own way. If you are in need of some additional help or you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I have 5 spots left. Enrollment closes October 15th, 2022. And I'm only taking 5 more clients one-on-one virtually for the rest of this year. So that is something that